Hello, horse lovers. If you're like me and you read every horse related book you could get your hands on when you were a kid, then I'm pretty sure you probably at least heard of the Saddle Club. This is the first in the series. It's a series by Bonnie Bryant that was later made into a TV series, and that was actually my first experience with it when I saw it on Discovery Kids years ago. The series focuses on three girls: Carol Hansen, Stevie Lake, and Lisa Atwood. While there are quite a few differences between the book series and the TV series, they basically follow the same premise. The Saddle Club are three girls who obviously become best friends. Although they don't start out that way, and they couldn't be more different from each other. They all love horses, with Carol being the one who is the most horse obsessed and the best rider. While the others love horses, horses are Carol's life. There is seriously nothing she does that doesn't have something to do with horses in some way. Stevie is more of a practical joker, which is kind of ironic since he is, in the books it said that she is the best of the three at riding dressage. In case you don't know what dressage is, it's a very precise, accurate type of riding. If you watch the Olympics and you see the horses doing what seems to be dancing, that's dressage. It's very, very highly trained riding, and while there's no type of riding that can't benefit from dressage training, it is absolutely an art form. And it's mentioned in the books that it's kind of ironic that Stevie is the best of the three at that. Lisa is the newest rider, and the series, both versions of it, book and TV series, start with her having her first lesson. And it's through that the readers will learn the most about horses, since we're learning along with Lisa, although all the books tend to change viewpoints between the different girls. Lisa is one of those girls who's pushed to be the best at everything. There isn't a single extracurricular activity at school that she's not part of. She's in band, she's in dance, she's on the debate team. Her mother has this idea of what every perfect young lady should be, and that includes horse riding. Something that Lisa is not at all sure she's going to like at first, even though her mother insists she's going to be the best at that, like everything else.
Max.
Eleanor Atwood.
And this is my mother.
Hello. We spoke on the phone.
Yes, as I said to your mother, Lisa does have riding experience. She just wants to brush up on her skills.
Sounds good to me, Lisa.
Now, I don't want her in any beginner's class. I want her riding with her own age group.
Thanks.
Lisa has actually only been on a horse once in her life. Her mother says, "Oh, she's ridden in a show and won a blue ribbon." That supposed show was at a petting zoo where any child put on the pony's back who didn't start to cry was handed a blue ribbon. Lisa is mortified at what her mother expects of her, but she does her best to at least make a good try at the riding lessons. Max Regnery, the instructor, puts her on a horse and tries to see what she's going to do. In the books, he puts her on Pets, who is afraid of loud noises. She's doing okay at guiding him around the ring when a door is slammed. Liz ends up almost causing an accident, but she's actually able to stay on and calm him down, bringing him back to a walk. This probably would not be likely in real life. It's pretty rare that Lisa would have the presence of mind to do that, although she is shown to be a pretty remarkable person. She's very methodical, very logical, and she's able to stay calm and think, okay, how do I calm this horse down? So even though she's new at riding, she does have quite a lot of natural riding ability. That's not to say she doesn't struggle at it. In the TV series, it shows more of her struggle to make friends. She has her cell phone in her pocket and her mother calls her during a lesson, which almost causes Stevie to have an accident. Stevie is, of course, not at all happy with Lisa for this. This is a reversal of the book where Lisa thinks that Stevie was the one who slammed the door that caused Pat to spook. This is because Stevie shows herself to be such a practical joker. And in their first lesson, she actually took the stirrups off of Lisa's saddle so that Lisa couldn't mount on her own. So Lisa thinks she's the kind of person that would do this. Now, while Stevie is a practical joker, she would never do anything that would cause an accident, at least not deliberately. Accidents happen, but Stevie has enough sense to not do anything that's actually dangerous. Now, Lisa also has a bad lesson in the first book, because of all that has to go on with riding. And when I read this after learning to ride myself, I have to laugh because I'm like, I know what she's feeling. I'm just going to read this one little part. Now, Lisa, Max called firmly from the center of the ring, I want you to set more forward in the saddle. Tighten up on your reins. Don't lean forward. Relax your calf muscles. Heels down. Lisa tried, but following 5 directions at once wasn't easy. Shoulders back and don't point your toes out, but relax those muscles. Make that 8 directions at once. And I know what she's feeling because there is so much to remember when you ride. How everything has to be positioned correctly, how you have to be looking in the right direction, because horses are so sensitive that even, if you turn your head a certain way, they're going to feel, oh, shifting position. Do you want me to turn? And the horse is probably going to do what they think you want. But if they think you want to do something you don't actually want to be doing, that can cause a problem. And when you're a new rider, it's very easy to give them the wrong signals. Well, while Lisa struggles with that in the book, in the TV series, she does try to make up for her mistake to Stevie. Only she ends up making things even worse.
I can't believe my mum called right in the middle of a lesson. It's like she has to check on me every 5 minutes. Mums are so lame. Yeah. Her mum died.
At this point, it looks like Carol and Stevie are never going to be friends with Lisa. However, there is one person that wants to be. Or at least she wants Lisa as one of her admiring fan club. And that person is Veronica D'Angelo. It seems like in every horse series, there is the one rich girl who's snobby, who has the best horse but isn't really all that great of a rider, and she only gets to do what she does because she has such a great horse, and she looks down on everybody who isn't rich. This is a stereotype because, of course, having a horse is seen as a rich person's thing, especially if you have the kind of horse that you're going to use for major competitions. Well, in this case, the rich person is Veronica D'Angelo, who actually was the person who slammed the door that scared Patch in the book. In the series, we get an idea of in the TV series, we get an idea of what kind of person she is when she tricks Lisa into tacking up Cobalt, which is Veronica's horse, for her, while pretending to teach her how to tack up so she can tack up her own horse, Patch.
Not bad. See that? What about Patch? Better hurry up.
Veronica isn't the type of practical joker Stevie is, someone who has a sense of humor and who would never actually do something that would hurt someone. But she does play tricks that are malicious and could be very dangerous. And she tries pulling one of these on Stevie, knowing that Comanche is going to freak out when she hears the sound.
Oh, huh? It's the smallest cell in the world. Better not let Max see that.
Don't worry about him. I only have to make one call to my pager.
What? If Comanche freaked when your phone rang, imagine what he'll do when my pager goes off right under his saddle.
Let's see how good a rider Stevie is when her horse goes mental.
Lisa's warned by Veronica that if she tells Stevie what's going to happen, Veronica will make sure she doesn't get to go on the mountain trail overnight, which is a big overnight horse riding camping trip that everybody at Pine Hollow Stables is looking forward to. Of course, Lisa does the right thing anyway. While this scene doesn't exactly play out the way it would have, Comanche being much calmer than he actually would have probably been had this been real, it does make for a kind of intense scene for younger viewers, so I can see where it comes off as being as dramatic as it needs to be.
What is that? It's okay. It's okay. What is that?
Lisa, of course, ends up being able to go on the mountain trail overnight anyway, and this is what makes the three girls friends, and what leads to them forming the club that the series is named after.
Veronica pretty much hates me now. Join the club. There's only a couple of rules. You have to be totally horse crazy. And you have to look out for each other. It's the perfect club. Now all we need is a name. What about the Saddle Club? I like it. Very horsey. Saddle Club. I can work with that. Yeah.
The first book of the series has them become friends in a little more creative way, I think. Stevie has been trying to save up enough money to go on the mountain trail overnight because she's been failing math, and her parents warned her that unless she gets her grades up, they won't pay for the trip. Not that she can't go, that they won't pay for it. So she's trying to raise the money on her own. But instead of getting jobs, she's almost a one-girl employment agency, getting everybody in town to do odd jobs for her and taking some of the earnings as a commission. She accidentally spends all the money, but Lisa saves the day when she points out to her, "You've done the math project. You kept a record of all the commissions you've earned, of all the different jobs you assigned. That is a math project. All you have to do is organize it." And so Lisa and Carol both help Stevie with that, and that's what cements their friendship in the book. I think that's a little bit different take on it, and it's not something that people would expect from a horse series. You expect it to be something more horse related that cements their friendship. But that's one of the things about the books. They do focus, of course, a lot on good horsemanship and a lot on horse care, riding, being responsible around horses, the safety that goes with them. But it also focuses on life lessons. So both do both the book and the TV series do good at showing that. But I think the book series is a little more creative in the way the lessons are shown. From there on, both basically show them having fun riding, beating different people, and getting in different situations. Now I've talked about the series, but I haven't yet talked about the series and the girls, but I haven't yet talked about the horses. Lisa starts out riding Patch, and in the books later Pepper, who are both lesson horses. Later on, she gets promoted to the newest lesson horse at the stable, Prancer.
Great round, Lisa. Way to go. Prancer's practically flying.
Racehorse, and although Lisa never owns her, she becomes her favorite mount by the end of the series. And after she's finished riding Pats, she pretty much graduates to exclusively riding Prancer. Stevie rides Comanche at first, but eventually gets her own horse, Belle.
Comanche, I want you to meet Belle. Sam's gonna ride you now because I've got Belle, but that doesn't mean I don't love you. You guys are gonna love each other.
In the books, Carol doesn't have her horse right away. She rides one of the school horses, Delilah. In the TV series, she has her own horse, Starlight, from the start. In both versions, Starlight was bought with money that her mother left to her. So Starlight is especially special to her. And it's always Starlight that she turns to when she needs to feel comfort and to basically find herself again when things get too much for her.
Starlight and I just need a good gallop. She's touchy, Lisa. When I look into your eyes, to tell you what's on my mind. With no words at all, you seem to understand.
Before getting a horse of her own, Carol really loved Veronica's horse, Cobalt. One of the saddest things in both the books and the TV series is when a tragic lesson about horse care is taught through Veronica's foolish mistake to take jumps way too fast. Because a horse's front legs are far weaker than their back legs, if a jump is taken too fast, their front legs can't stand all their body weight coming down with such force on those thin legs. And tragedy results.
She's going way too fast. What is she doing? Slow down, pull it up.
After this accident, Veronica does get a different horse, and she actually does start to care about this one, which is one of the things I like in the TV series is Veronica does show some character development. And she actually talks to her new horse, Garnet, in a way she never talked to Cobalt.
Hey, hold still. I don't want you to make it any more difficult for me than it already is. You know I'm not meant for this kind of manual labor. You're so silly.
Hoping to have my own horse, Bucky, with me in future horse videos whenever I get the chance, but somebody else decided to join me, didn't you? My Marty. He likes a good cuddle. An old boy, but he's still hanging on at 16. Now, there's one other interesting thing in the Saddle Club I want to point out. There is one guest star in here who Marvel fans are going to recognize.
You're right, girls. It does have something to do with her leg.
Errol, I'm sorry for what I said. I'm so glad you got Dr. Whiteside back.
Could Belle have banged her leg on a piece of pressure-treated wood? Or perhaps just painted with lead paint?
The jumps are painted.
Yes, that vet is Chris Hemsworth, Thor himself. I thought that was pretty cool that he's in there. Now, obviously, there's a lot about the Saddle Club I didn't get to talk about in this video. And there's a lot of things that are going to be perfect for their own separate videos that have to do with the Shadow Club. The series has a lot of books, and each one, like I said, is just I've said before in the past, I will not do a series that tells a continuous story ever again because it just takes up too much time. But each Shadow Club episode is basically its own story, and I'll be visiting some of them as the situation applies. For example, there's some Christmas Shadow Club books that are really good, and I'll do my thoughts on them at the time. And there are 3 special episodes that I love that were joined together to make a sort of mini movie, and I'm going to be talking about that in my next video. So I hope I'll see you there for that one. Marty wants to cuddle, and yeah, I love you too. And it's time we both got to bed, so I will see you in the next video, and keep writing.